Hello and welcome to everybody. I've started a new gig called the Coaches Commentary, wherein I'll be talking about anything and everything that happens in the world of cricket. But obviously, it's that time of the year where everybody's really excited. Why? Because it's summertime and another edition of IPL is about to start. The inaugural game will be between the reigning champions Gujarat Titans and, of course, the popular franchisee Chennai Super Kings. What a mouth-watering contest it's going to be because both the sides are really good and they got a lot of experience. And most importantly, both these sides have had a taste of what it is to win the IPL. Hardik Pandya created history when he won the title for Gujarat first up. They put up a fantastic display. That's an obvious statement. And what is really impressive about the Gujarat Titans was the kind of team that they put up in the auction and also the decisions they made right through the season. What made them win the IPL last year? It had everything. The side had everything. As cliched as it may sound, they covered all the bases. They had good medium paces, they had explosive batters, and of course, they got fantastic spinners as well. But the key factor was the maturity that Hardik Pandya showed as a captain and the calmness he exhibited right through the tournament. There'll be a lot of ebbs and flows in the course of an IPL tournament, but Hardik Pandya was fantastic in ensuring that he kept his form going. He also kept everybody in good space mentally. And obviously, the result was they went on to win the IPL in an emphatic manner. It was a big surprise to everybody, but you have to hand it out to them. And they made a few changes from there to now. But of course, those are all tactical changes. But the core of the team still remains intact. If you look at their batting, they've got Shubman Gill, terrific striker of the ball. And in the middle order, they've got really explosive batters. David Miller, he's become like wine. He's getting better with each passing year. And then you have Rahul Tewatia, who can change a game on its head. And then, of course, you have the skipper himself, who's a fantastic member to have in any side. The flexibility that he provides, and also the confidence that he provides when he's out in the middle, whether he's batting or bowling, because of late he's been bowling really well and bowling consistently too, which means that if he is around, if he's fully fit, he is going to give a lot to any side that he plays for, especially when he's a captain for his franchisee. He's going to give it all that he has. And of course, to bolster their batting, they got in Kane Williamson. They got a lot of free strikers of the cricket ball in that side. Even the keepers in their sides, Ridhiman Saha is a very good striker of the cricket ball. So Kane Williamson obviously is one who's going to provide a bit of calm and who's also going to be a bit of a linchpin around whom the other free striking batters will be going about their job for Gujarat Titans. You talk about the fast bowling options, you have Hardik Pandya, you got Mohammad Shami, and of course you got uh, you had Lockie Ferguson last year, but he won't be here around in this season. You got Joseph, who will also provide a lot of teeth to the attack, which means that they've got fantastic lineup in terms of the entire combination per se. They got fast bowlers, they got spinners, and also they got the batters as well. What more can you ask for? The abundant talent that the Titans have is epitomized by the fact that the support cast, like Manohar and uh, Sai Sudarshan, they got runs at a very healthy strike rate as well, which means there's hardly any gap in the side. And they've been given the encouragement and the freedom to be their normal selves and go out and express themselves without any inhibitions. And they also got a lot of options in the medium pace department as well. Shivam Mavi is coming to the side now, and he's obviously been around for a while. A lot of people felt that he would be adorning the Indian colors on a regular basis a couple of years ago, but that is not to be. He's been battling injuries, and of course, there's been a lot of fast bowlers who've been vying for slots in the Indian side. Rashid Khan in the lineup is there. What more do you want? In fact, they've not used much of Sai Kishore last season, who's been bowling brilliantly in the last 4 5 years for his state side. And he's also been very impressive in the little that we saw of him in the IPL, which means even the spin attack is really good. Tewate has not bowled at all. So Hardik Pandya is definitely got a lot of options with which he can really uh, rally his side around, and he'll hope to obviously start the campaign off on a good note and perhaps go on even to repeat what the Titans did last year. Let's talk about the Chennai Super Kings. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, he's been the captain. He's led them to a lot of titles. There was a brief period where he did not captain. The mantle was handed over to Jadeja, which is given back to Dhoni. There was a little bit of confusion. There's a lot of speculation and there's a lot of noise outside, but all is settled. Everything is well, and they will start this campaign afresh and hopefully get back to what they do best. That is going all the way in the tournament. The problem last year was that their main batters did not really get runs at a healthy strike rate. Conway did that well enough. Moeen Ali did well enough, but the likes of Rayudu, Dhoni were getting runs at the mid 120s. They'll be looking to increase their strike rate as well. Shivam Dubey really did well with the bat, but they would expect him to step up with the ball because they need him to perform in more than one department. And that is something that the Chennai Super Kings would need because their top order batters don't bowl. We had Raina bowling for Chennai Super Kings. He would sneak in a few overs. And the big advantage as far as the Chennai Super Kings are concerned is that they'll be playing home and away, which means they have the option of playing on tracks that suit their brand of cricket. But again, the biggest conundrum for Dhoni would be the choices that he makes as far as the foreign players are concerned, because most of the spinners that he has in his ranks are foreigners, and that is something that is really going to pose a lot of thought, a lot of concern as to who he fits into the 11. Because if he's got to bring in all those spinners into play on tracks which are slow and are aiding the spinners, then he needs to really sacrifice Conway at the top of the order. Can he do that? Yes, of course. Having the Indian batters will be an advantage. You have Ruturaj Gaikwad, you have Shivam Dubey, you have Dhoni himself, you have Raidu too. But again, what happens when you play away games? That is where you need really good fast bowlers. That is something that perhaps is really not at the disposal of the CSK skipper. Yes, the return of Deepak Chahar to full fitness is definitely a big plus for the Chennai Super Kings. Not only can he bowl well enough with the new ball and wherever his skipper would want him to, but he's also capable of churning out a few runs as well, which is critical in these competitions, because I, for one, tend to believe that the runs that the lower order batters make can be the difference more often than not, because the runs that the top order batters get even out. So the basic difference will be the last few runs of the innings that is scored towards the end of the innings by these lower order batters. And if these bowlers can chip in with a quick 10 or 15 towards the end of the innings, that will more or less make the difference as we have seen in the past ever so many times. Apart from Deepak Char, the availability of bench strokes, that's going to be a big plus as well. And he is really capable of winning matches on his own. Yes, there will be a little bit of decision making left for Mahendra Singh Dhoni to indulge in during this series, but he is mature, he's handled different sides over a long period of time, and he obviously is one who knows how to pick the right kind of combination based on the conditions and also based on the tactical demands in each and every game. But however, I for one believe that this particular contest, the opening contest in the 2023 IPL, is slightly tilted in favor of the Gujarat Titans, merely because CSK needs to try and reinvent the winning combination, and they've been having a bit of an ordinary time in the last season. But that is again one thing that cannot be held against them, or cannot take them lightly because of that, because experience is something which is indispensable. But however, I think on the kind of lineups that they have, at least on paper, I think Gujarat Titans will have a slight edge over the Chennai Super Kings. But in a T20 game, it's all about an over or two or a couple of deliveries making a difference. So whatever it may be, we'll know in a few hours' time. But the long and short of it is that it's all nicely set up for this edition of IPL to get off on a very exciting note. Two top sides, there's hardly anything between the both of them, even though I've said there's a slight advantage the Titans have. But nonetheless, it's going to be an exciting contest, and we cannot ask for a better start to the tournament, which is perhaps is the most sought after as the most followed tournament across the world.